All right, guys. So again, still excited, not sleeping. I'm gonna eat something. I don't know. I'm thinking about eating possibly some Indian food. I don't know, getting some chicken tikka masala and then smoke another hookah and then pass out again, get a nap, and wake up to see how the rest of the market went down. Today is going to be one of those days where you're not going to see no sudden movement into our favorite stocks, but it's so easy for you to go and look and see in the level 2 data how like there's so much suppression happening across all those stocks. I mean, right now, AMC can literally come out and say that there is 50 billion shares out there and they should not exist, but they can literally authenticate that and nothing will, the price will probably go down. Again, they are holding this for this whole past year and a half because it aligns with one, making enough funds and making enough money to pay for what is to come. I mean, realistically, guys, there's not going to be a squeeze where, like, you know, it just squeezes and they don't, like, you know, oh my God, we don't have, like, they know what's at stake. With the GameStop thing that happened, they didn't allow the squeeze. The squeeze was not over with that. Nobody covered. Even the SEC reported that, you know, in the report a couple months ago. So they just pulled the plug on that because they knew that was like a sudden hit. Like it was like one of those sucker punches that just came out of nowhere and it hurt them. In fact, it almost caused a systematic meltdown. So they knew what's at stake back then. January 2021, they knew what was coming for them. So they pulled the plug, changed and reshuffled the board, went about it in a different way. Remember when they had those 2 days when all those stocks, they had a list of all those stocks, not just GameStop or AMC, but it was a few, like a bunch more that was on that list that couldn't be traded. You could only sell them, but you couldn't buy. Well, I can easily tell you, in that 2 days on that weekend, that's when they had their secret, I guess, behind closed door meetings, and they came up with a new strategy. They're like, well, we need to stall these guys. They would, with that being said, why would they want to stall us? Why wouldn't they just cover then? A lot of people ask that question. I don't think anybody have answered it definitively to the point where that question is not asked anymore. I'm here for you now. Don't worry, guys. So when they, by them prolonging the cause this way, they'll be able to make enough money from the community. That's one, by cheating them, of course. Two, they can raise money through other markets, through other means, by other plays, while everybody goes into this in those plays and keep YOLOing in more and more and more. They are able to take that money and take it and invest it somewhere else. This explains why you see a lot of pumps and dumps almost on a daily from some unknown stocks or some unknown penny stocks, because again, they needed money. It's kind of like me coming to you and saying, give me $1 million, I'll bring it back to you too, as 2 million. And you're like, okay, that's just what they did. Whether you see that as wrong or not, the way they went about it, obviously, is completely wrong, and illegal. But again, I'm not a financial advisor, guys, so I'm not going to be making any accusations in anyone. I'm just putting my point of view out there. You probably can see my bags because weird sleeping. But anyways, that's the least of your concern. So they take all this money. Now they have capital. What are they doing with that? They go and invest it. They know it's kind of like taking a loan from us without our permission. I think that explains it best. And it's a never stopping loan. It's kind of like an open check because people obviously kept YOLOing in. And there's nothing wrong like against you guys or any of us or any of that. When you look at the grand scheme of things and the big picture, the only thing that matters is when the shorts cover and how we dictate that fight when the fight goes down. I would not be surprised if they have went throughout this whole year and a half movement, if they've been going in the back scenes, and one, obviously a lot of people couldn't stay within the ranks, so ranks have been broken. But we do know that that's very minimal of an effect to doomsday that's coming soon. Now, the other thing that could be possible is that they could have been also canceling out a lot of synthetic shares that they've been creating over this past year. Now, is that can we definitively see that, like how they did it? No. But one thing I surely can tell you is whatever you're holding in your account, whatever I'm holding in my account, whatever all the community is holding in their account, all that will have to be dealt with. I wouldn't rely so much on the institutional shares. I wouldn't rely so much on any of those, because these guys, again, I've said this many times in my videos, and if you know me by now in our channel, you know what my agenda is. These guys all dine and wine in the same country club, guys. So I would not be surprised if backdoor deals were broken and given to each other so that they can take care of this. Like, you know, kind of like, hey, I bought this at that time. You made money in return. Now I need to make my profit on this. So I'm going to sell it at this price. Yes, they will sell at very low prices. They will probably be happy with the 70s, the 60s, the 80s, the 90s. Of course, that's coming. That's why I said don't pay so much attention to all that institutional crap. All that hammer talk about the hammer from the big dogs. Guess what? Recently, those theorists out there that have been putting that theory out there to you 3-4 weeks ago, guess what? They're the very same people that are coming out to us, well, through the channel, and telling you you shouldn't worry much about it anymore because it looks like they've been cleaning those shares up. I've already been preaching this to you. Unfortunately, this community is much smaller, so if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. You would know that stuff weeks ago rather than months ago when it first comes out, rather than being led astray with some weird theories. And now they changed. Now they are the same people that are coming out saying, I wouldn't worry about that. You know, and you know who I'm referring to. You know, they literally just said that I wouldn't worry about the Vanguard anymore. They still didn't talk about the BlackRock, but eventually you're going to get there. You'll see. Why? Because I've been literally, I'm not going to say the only one, because I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt for the other ones out there in case I haven't seen their videos. But I'm one of the only ones that have been out telling you the only things that matter are short interest coverage, they're covering or not, and the one and the biggest elephant in the room, we own over 90% of the float. Doesn't matter how many. People get caught between the lines. Oh, he said 90% of 500 million shares, the real float. He's saying there's no synthetics. And there's many people saying that's BS. No, there's about 28 billion or 160 billion shares out there, minus the 500 real float. I've been the only one telling you guys that it does not matter what 90 or over 90% of the pie we own. The fact of the matter is we own over 90% of the pie. So we dictate where this goes. Institutes can dump as much as they want. What are they dumping? Even if they own 5 billion shares, 20 billion shares, they're dumping less than 10% of what is out there. The 90% is with us. So when people talk about, oh, be smart and your bracket can't go to somewhere, mathematically, they're wrong. And as far as the theory of how long this has been dragging on and we added more people onto the play, yeah, this was all part of their plan from the get-go. They needed more people to YOLO, and so they could take that money to go invest it in some other things so they can make more money to prepare for Judgment Day so they can walk out alive, and some will not. If this makes any sense to you guys, subscribe to the channel, please. Share it with others so that we can grow this community out. If you like the content, please, 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 please. I mean, I think I said it 3-4 times, and I'll say it 1,000 more times. Like the videos so we can push it out algorithmically to more and more people. Much love, AB. I'll be back for a third video.